From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Casino Secrets with Vegas Vic and Ziggy.
Hello, I'm Vegas Vic. Welcome to the continuation of our recent Periscope broadcast.
To this day.
Tell me about the guy, Kerry Packer, who gave a $200,000 tip to a cocktail waitress.
Yes, Mr. Kerry Packer. The story is in my book. As probably you know by now if you've been watching the entire broadcast. Kerry Packer was an Australian billionaire. His son, James Packer, now runs the empire, which has many casinos in Asia, Southeast Asia, in Macau, in China. And eventually they will have some here in Las Vegas, although their particular plans have not yet realized themselves here in Las Vegas. But they have a substantial presence elsewhere. Now, Kerry Packer made his money in television and in media and newspapers, and he was one of the world's richest men at the time. Now, we're talking again 25, 30 years ago here. And he was an avid gambler, and he loved to play blackjack. And he would come to Las Vegas and stay at the MGM Grand and other casinos, of course, as well. And he would play high-stakes blackjack. On this particular occasion, he was playing blackjack in the High Limit Salon, and he was winning, I think it was about $16 million. And he was what's called a George. George is a casino expression for a patron, a gambler who tips very well. Now, in this particular instance, the cocktail girl that was serving him drinks came up to him with his drink, and since he was winning so much, he got into a conversation with her and asked her what she's doing. She said, well, you know, I just bought my house for my husband and my kids, and, you know, it's a bit of a struggle because the mortgage is high, and the house cost us $200,000, and he reached for a stack of chips and gave her a $200,000 tip for bringing him the drink on one condition. He said, you can have this money if you use it to pay off your mortgage so that you can have an easier life. By all accounts, she did exactly that and lived happily ever after.
Tell us about... Okay, this is kind of... I found this story fascinating. When I read your book, Gambling Legends,
yes,
which you can get at morecasinodeals.com.
Gambling Legends, true stories and amazing facts.
I never thought about the origin of the sandwich.
Yes.
Please, and it's interesting you put in there, please tell us the origin of the sandwich.
Okay, the sandwich. Now, I assume everybody knows what a sandwich is, right? Do you think you know what a sandwich is, Ziggy?
Please, move along.
Okay, he says to move along, but most people would say that a sandwich is a piece of meat between two slices of bread, right?
Yes.
Wrong. That's not what a sandwich is.
Tell me what a sandwich is.
Sandwich was created by the Earl of Sandwich, a British aristocrat, who, by the way, was the British Lord of the Admiralty during the Revolutionary War of Independence of the United States of America. And he was a degenerate and avid gambler, so much so that often he would play for many days in a row, and he would not even get up from his chair to get some food. Well, on one of these occasions, he told his servants that he's hungry, and they brought him the only thing that they had left, slices of ham and some bread. And so what Mr. Sandwich, the Earl of Sandwich, did is he put one slice of bread between two slices of ham. And it became known amongst the gentry as the sandwich. Now, of course, the poor people could not afford meat so much, and so instead what they did is they placed one slice of meat between two slices of bread. And that's how today's sandwich came to be, named after the Earl of Sandwich. And, by the way, because the Earl of Sandwich was so bad at gambling and spent so much time at the gambling tables, he wasn't there to properly organize the British fleet during the Revolutionary War, and as a result, the British soldiers in America weren't supplied properly and lost the Revolutionary War primarily due to the incompetence of the Earl of Sandwich, the father of today's sandwich. And you can read more about that in my book, Gambling Legends, True Stories and Amazing Facts, morecasinodeals.com. Ziggy, you got something else?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
There's a rumor
Yes.
that Arnold Rothstein fixed the World Series back in
1919.
1919. He was known as the Fixer, in the sense that he fixed the game.
Yes.
But that's not exactly correct, is it?
No, because Arnold the Fixer Rothstein was a famous gambler in New York. And he is today known primarily for fixing the 1919 World Series. And it's called the Chicago Black Sox scandal, which, of course, the Chicago White Sox baseball team was then accused of throwing the World Series.
Wait, Black Sox or White Sox?
No, they were Chicago White Sox is the team, but because they were accused of rigging the World Series, they became known as the Chicago Black Sox. You know, as kind of a pun, you know, on it. But they are still known today as the Chicago White Sox. But at the time, the newspapers, when they learned of the story, dubbed them the Black Sox because of this scandal. Now, what happened is that at the time, baseball players were paid so little, and the baseball owners were making so much money out of it, that some of the players on the White Sox team decided to make bets on the other side of about $10,000 or so, which was a lot of money at that time for them. And there was only a handful of them that did this, and they wanted to go and play not as well as they could play, in order to be able to throw a couple of games in the World Series, and so that they could be able to win the bets on the other team. Now, Arnold Rothstein from New York learned about this, and he could have put a stop to it, but he didn't want to have anything to do with fixing baseball, because he was primarily a poker player and a horse handicapper and a sports bettor, except for this occasion on the White Sox. And so, even though the gangsters in Chicago at the time said that Arnold the Fixer Rothstein did that, he didn't. He didn't stop it. He allowed it to happen, but he did not participate in it. However, in all of history, he has become known as the Fixer because of the 1990 World Series, the only thing with which he actually had nothing to do with. So that's the irony of history. And the rest of the story of him, there's a lot more to it than that, is in my book, Gambling Legends, True Stories and Amazing Facts, morecasinodeals.com. Ziggy.
Tell us about the $100 Man.
Ah, yes, the $100 Man. Again, these are stories from 25, 30 years ago or more. An ordinary Joe, you know, walks into a casino this happened again in downtown Las Vegas, because at that time this was the place where real gamblers went mostly. And he walked up to the craps table. Are you talking about the $100 Man with the craps table, or the one at the slots Because
No,
there's two there.
it's the craps
It's
table.
the-
No, he went to different craps tables.
Oh, it's the one with the craps table.
It's your story.
Well, I know, but there's two of them about with a $100 chip, and so I just wasn't sure if you meant the one at the craps table or the one at the slot machine. There's another story about a fellow with a $100 chip at the slot machine in my book.
Which book?
Gambling Legends, True Stories and Amazing Facts. The details can be found at morecasinodeals.com. Anyway, the story, he walks up to the craps table and he buys in for $100 worth of chips and he starts playing. And he plays and he's winning, and so he's pressing his bets and he's winning more, and eventually he runs up against the table limit of $1,000 and he asks for the limit to be lifted, and they lifted the limit and he keeps winning and winning. To cut a long story short, all of which is described in my book, he plays for about 24 hours and wins $1.5 million. Then he's very tired. They give him a suite at the hotel. He goes up and sleeps for a long, long time, and he comes back down again when he's refreshed and starts playing craps. But this time, it's not going well, and he's losing and he's losing and he's losing. Eventually, he loses a whole $1 million out of the money that he had won. But unlike Mr. Briefcase, this fellow was smart enough to realize what had happened and how lucky he was, And when he had lost $1 million, he stopped. He took the other $500,000 that he still had in cash left and went home and never came back and kept his money. And that's the difference between a winner and a loser. Know when to stop and go home. Okay, so that's, you got anything else there, Ziggy, or are we done?
We're done.
All right, well, that was very nice. Thank you so much for spending this time with me here on Vegas Vic and my friend Ziggy. Say hello, Ziggy.
Hello, Ziggy.
Thank you for watching our broadcast on Periscope. Don't forget to look at our YouTube channel, which is LasVegasLiveTV.com. And for more information on everything, you can always look me up on Twitter. My handle is @GamingAuthor. And of course, on my website, which is morecasinodeals.com. So until next time, this is Vegas Vic in Las Vegas, Nevada, saying so long. See you later. Bye. Hello, Vegas Vic back again. Thank you very much for watching our program. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It's very easy. Just click the subscribe button on your screen. It only takes a second, and then you'll be notified every time we post a video. You can also follow me on Twitter. My handle is @GamingAuthor. So until next time, I'll see you soon. So long.